And we welcome you to our volleyball series of interviews, and not the way we like it, but this is the new world. It's the new age. Licata here on the right end. Jason Culpepper, long-time volleyball guy who knows how to get the state on the left side, and he is the coach of 3A Bushland High School. It's always great to visit, my man. I mean, we were just kind of chatting before we started this interview. It's always great to catch up with you. Known you since I think 15 and 16 when I saw you, and it's been a great run. Seen you at state a few times. We always get a chance to chat then. First and foremost, in this new world, how are you, your family, your school, and your program in the COVID-19 age?
We're good. Some people think the Texas Panhandle is a totally different world, and so we kind of are. My wife's the principal and all that good stuff, so we've been super busy, and but luckily and thankfully we don't have any illness or anything like that. But so health-wise, we're super. Mental health, getting stuck inside for so long can wear on you a little bit for sure. Quick little story while we're on COVID, and what did you do while you were in COVID, right? Everybody has that, okay, we redid the bathroom or that whatever, right?
Right.
Because you can't find any drills or saws anymore. Everybody bought them up. Well, COVID-19 wasn't because it's like 19, the virus. You gained 19 pounds. So instead of gaining 19 pounds, we went vegetarian. So I've been vegetarian for a little while anyway.
Wow.
We kind of backed off of it a little bit now, so we're going to get back. But we went vegetarian for a little while, tried it. It's not too bad, really. Feel better and that kind of thing. So we modified our diet, I guess, our nutrition from there, from all vegetarian to back to a little bit. But yeah. In the meat capital of the world, it's a little hard to do that.
Well, I'll just call you Jason Vegan Culpepper when you get the state.
No vegan, man. You gotta have some eggs and milk in there, but try not to eat too much meat.
Hey, so talk about getting ready for this upcoming season among the COVID pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, we're really extra time for sure. I felt really bad for the girls because we have no spring, and that's kind of when we put on some new stuff and work on some different things. So that was bad, but I think you all did the right thing. We got some strength and conditioning. We were always giving out body weight and stuff they could do at home, some little things like that. So I think our girls stayed busy. But again, they have lots of other things to do. It wasn't just, sit at home and play volleyball or do weights and that kind of thing. So our kids are pretty active in the community and have jobs and essential jobs, or they're on the farm. So there's always something to do. But I think our community did a great job of that. And then, then as we got into this, we're glad we get to talk to you about volleyball, because otherwise, we could be like some other places, and they're complaining that they don't get to do anything. At least we're complaining, oh, we had to change our schedule, right? Or, oh, we only get 2 hours if you're 5A. Oh, darn, 5 hours. Yeah, that's fine. So we're glad, and I think UIL did a good job of that and mediated it through there. And I think Susan and Charles did a awesome. Excuse me, I should say Dr. Elza and Mr. Rother, but I think they did a great job of kind of working our way into it and that kind of thing. At least we're not in the NBA bubble, right?
I don't know. That might be safer. Major League Baseball is having issues right now, so that might be the way to go.
But let's be honest. Those Major League Baseballers, they come from everywhere, and it's not like just the U.S. They're from everywhere and can travel pretty easily. So. Yep.
Hey, so as we talked to Jason Culpepper, head coach of Bushland Class 3A this year, and we'll get to the history in just a little bit. Jason, how tough was it for you to schedule matches after UIL announced that we were going to have a season? I mean, obviously we lost, and I know it pained you as much as me and everybody else that we didn't have the typical 3 weeks of tournaments, because, you know, that's a lot of fun for me. I'm sure it's stress for you and the other coaches, but you really get a good chance to get, I mean, that's 40% of your schedule right here. You just lost 40% of your schedule. How tough has it been to schedule your matches upcoming?
Well, I think out here in the Panhandle it's a little tougher, simply because we're a little more spread out. So we can't just pick up games really close, right? So, but yeah, I went from full schedule to not having a game to September the 12th, because everybody I was going to play was 5A, 6A, or tournaments.
Right.
And because we go to so many tournaments and it's pretty far away, I didn't schedule a couple of Tuesdays just so we could get some practice in and a little rest. So it was a pretty good scramble. I kind of felt like the football coaches on their realignment day. You know how they're scrambling all the time to find, you know, the best game. So I kind of felt that way. But we came up with a really good schedule. You know, we always have Hereford and Dumas and Canyon and those teams here that can fill it in pretty good. So we scheduled those guys. And then, let's see, we picked up some other 3As that were, no, actually 3As are later. So we picked up Canyon, Dumas, Hereford, and then some Lubbock schools that are 4A now to fill that up until September. And then when September, then we kind of get into the heavy hitters, because we have a duel with Lubbock, Cooper, and Amarillo High. And then we turn around and have a duel with Friendship and Monterey, and Tascosa on another day. So, yeah, we filled it in pretty good. It'll be a good work in. You know, I did catch Amarillo High on their first day back, so bonus for me. Their first game after a month of hitting on each other is us. So I don't know if that's going to be good or bad.
I guess you'll find out real quick. Hey, so
yeah,
you know, I
would be a good thing.
You know, I just mentioned history. What folks need to know is Bushland has an incredible record. Okay, the last 14 years, listen to this, folks. Last 14 years, Bushland has been to state 8 times. They've got 4 state titles in 2 different divisions. We'll get to that in a minute. They've also been a finalist and a semi or 3-time semifinalist out of the 8 trips to state. They've never been earlier than a regional quarterfinals. Regional quarterfinals once, regional semifinals once, and regional finals 4 times. That's 8 out of the last 14 years for Bushland. State championship in 4A in 2016-17. State champs in 2A, 2013 and 14. And then back-to-back in 7 and 8 and 8 and 9. And then state semifinals, lost eventual champion Post in 2006, 2007. Semis 2010, 11, lost eventual champ White Oak. And then, of course, last year, boy, it couldn't have gotten any better. Vanderbilt Industrial, Jason, as you know, you went 5 with them. The last, the 5th set went 15-13. Vanderbilt Industrial went on to win state that year too. I mean, holy cow. You guys have expectations of going to state at Bushland. Is that correct?
I mean, if you don't, you may not get to keep your job very long here, for sure. But, you know, it's really cool in the Panhandle. If you're not playing good volleyball, you're going to get left behind. And Amarillo High, Randall, and then Bushland, you know, we're, to be honest with you, 15 minutes of each other. And so we get to play each other a lot. And so that brings your level of skill and confidence and all those things, you know, just way up. And you play with each other all the time in your club teams and that kind of thing. So it is very high level, but it's expected. And I think the girls really thrive on that and make it a goal that, hey, we're in the Panhandle. We're gonna have to meet the tradition of everybody around us, not just Bushland, but Randall and Amarillo High as well. Because we want to be in the newspaper. We want to be now in social media. And if you're not going to state, you don't get talked about. So you don't get your name in the paper just for winning games in the Panhandle.
Right, right. Well, of course, those of us who know volleyball know that you know what it's like to be at state. I believe 7 times with Randall High School before you moved to Bushland. One state championship out of that. And when you talk about perennial powers, all you ran into when you were at Randall was perennial
Yeah, yeah. That's, and again, the same thing. You still have those Amarillo Highs, Dumases, Herefords that you play. And then we would go to, Pearland or Volleypalooza, or the best tournament for us really that we had the most fun was the Justin Northwest Northwest ISD tournament. That was just a lot of fun, a lot of high competition. So we were tested early all the time, which made it a lot easier when we went to tournaments or went to district from the tournaments. Hey, okay, we did this. We know we can do that. We played with South Lake. We played Lovejoy usually. So, those Dallas Metro teams prepared us for. So then when we got to there, we had an idea where we needed to be.
Right, right. Well, as we talked about last year, state semifinalists. You bring back a couple of girls. They know the tradition, the program. Kinley Rudder, your setter, Karen Schultz, Haley Conklin, and outside Jace Adams, your libero, who I was really impressed with. Logan Culpepper, that name should sound familiar. She's a sophomore. She'll be one of the possible new players on the varsity squad. Emma Troxel and Kaylee, is that Nye? That last name, N-E-I-E? Is that pronounced Nye? Do you know?
This Nye, Kayla Nye.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are all great kids, and the juniors, J.C. Adams. Those girls are. We've had two practices today, and I thought they did really well. And during the summer, they put in a lot of good time for strength and conditioning, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I think we have a good set to fill in graduation for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you have to play all those Amarillo teams, and so the tradition is better get there, right? So we try to get that done.
Yeah, and what's funny is it was a great story at state last year. The story about how you moved to Bushland, of course, your wife being the principal. I'll let you tell that. But does that make your wife your boss? Is that kind of what I'm reading out of this, or what?
I mean, as a married man, that's always going to be the case. So I really didn't see it as a big problem early on that she was going to be my boss. But yeah, my wife's been the principal here at Bushland for 4 years now. And with Logan being a freshman, we thought, well, okay, we needed to find a way to get us together, because she was always in the Bushland activities. Mm-hmm. And Logan and I were always at Randall activities. So we needed to get together. And Logan being a freshman coming up, we were trying to either make it where she would go to the CISD or I would come out here. To be honest with you, we didn't really think the Bushland volleyball job would come open, but it did. So that was pretty easy deal. I really probably didn't think the being my boss at home and school through quite, that's, hindsight's 2020, right? So I probably should have done a little better job of background there. I don't know, but yeah. So but it's really been fun. We taught together when we were in Dalhart, when we were there, and we enjoy it. And we get to see Logan all the time. She probably doesn't enjoy that, but we do. And we have lunch together. I mean, it's called lunch duty, but it's still eating lunch with your wife, so it's good. But yeah, right. We made that move, and it's been really good for our family. And we're excited about the new year and getting started. We got a new house out at the Bushland community, and the
Nice.
community is really great. So it's been fun.
So if I remember correctly, you moved. It took when you moved to Bushland, it was a 15-mile move. Did you even hire movers, or did you just do it yourself over a period of time?
Nah, we just yeah. When we did move, we just threw it in the back of the pickup a little at a time, drive back and forth. So no movers involved on this move for sure.
And it's funny. Logan coming into the first. What is it about volleyball coaches' daughters, whether you're a male or female coach? The daughters always seem to be setters. You look at Jan Barker; she had Bree and Danielle. Of course, they're now coaches, but they were setters for state championship teams. Do coaches do that on purpose? Do they make them setters, or do they just kind of put them on the court and see what talent, and they just happen to be setters?
For me, mine have always just been, hey, go play, and it just kind of works out. And I think Jan's would probably say the same. Probably they know a lot because they come to the gym all the time. So they get out of school when they're in third grade and catch the bus to the gym, and they hang out with me until 6 o'clock. So they generally have a little more knowledge of the game beforehand, which makes it easier to run the court, be the quarterback, those type of things. And they're playing all the time, and it's easier to set to yourself than it is to size doesn't have a problem. If you're not very tall in the Panhandle, you're not going to be pretty effective as hitter. Logan's 5'5" or 5'6", something like that. So, and Jan's daughters aren't very tall either. So
No,
I think it has to do with a lot of genetics, and then you're in the gym all the time. So,
when the UIL rescheduling came out, if you will, a few folks from around the state called me and myself and Butch Hart and said, "Hey, what do you think about the double state championship deal?" I'll be honest with you, Jay, and you know what this is like. I love it because now you get a chance to highlight the 1A through 4A programs unlike they've been able to do before. And believe me, if you're at state and you know some history, there's a lot of history at state, no matter what classification. But now the 1A to 4As kind of get the floor to themselves the first week in the state. What are your thoughts on that?
To be honest with you, I was just so glad we were going to get to have a state championship. I didn't even look at it that way. But you are right. The 1As and 2As don't have to play at 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning. And
right.
So everybody could come watch. And I know the 6As are around there, bring in a lot of their fans, which is really great for volleyball. But yeah, we don't have to share maybe the spotlight with some of the, larger schools with larger, more, I'm not going to say more athletic, but they have more of them, right? If you have a school of 5,000 kids, you get from a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So, they put in a lot of time as well. So, yeah, I agree totally with you that now the 1 through 4A gets to, show what we can do and play some really nice games, and everybody really like what was going on and want to come out and play and watch and get the spotlight. So it's going to be good for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Jason, before I go, give you a chance to kind of, just summarize, anything, how excited the community is, how hard the community has worked together to get through this COVID thing. Just give me kind of like a final statement before we sign off here.
Yeah, I think everyone in Texas is just real appreciative that we get to do some sports, do most sports, and no matter how weird it is or strange, we're really appreciative. The Bushland community is the same way, and everyone's just been so happy that we get to go in and practice and football and volleyball and all that stuff. They've been, we didn't get to do some fundraisers, so they've come up and done some things that really have helped us, maybe get some extra things that we needed, just that we didn't get to do. So I think it's really exciting that we get to go play. The community's, all in, and they're really want to know where can we watch it. On Facebook right now we have that 50% deal, and that might be something. We might become real celebrities as teams or coaches because we're on Facebook more than all the rest of the people that are out there in TV land. We may get more airtime than everybody else. You never know.
There you go.
So it could be the new reality shows. I might make some money on that deal.
There you go. And of course, if any team ever wants to talk to VYPE, you can certainly reach out. VYPE.com. We do VYPE Live. We'll be happy to broadcast your matches or games or whatever. So, we're looking forward to that as well. Hey, Jason, always appreciate your time, my friend. Definitely.